Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. It means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. Woo, guys, we got a triple unboxing today. We actually probably could spend the entire hour unboxing stuff today. I have a lot of packages at the P.O. box, but I've been kind of just procrastinating on that. And we'll go with the three that we have in-house today. But first, let's say hi. Before we get to that, let's say hi to everyone listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. Temps are cooling off here in Crystal Lake. They're getting back to bearable temperatures. My run today was pretty mild, and hopefully you're getting fantastic weather where you're running. And for everyone else watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 running radio show that happens to be on the internet. Hopefully your cleanup after dinner is going well. All right, let's see who we got here in the chat. Martha's here reporting in attendance from Rancho La Puerta in Tecate, Mexico. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Hi, Martha. How are you? And Daniel Burton says there's a new course record in Leadville 100. Crazy fast. Yeah, David Roche setting a course record, breaking the course record. And it was his first 100-mile race. You know what I feel like is interesting? And maybe it's because the social media that I consume, generally, I kind of train my algorithm to film me nicer stuff and not nasty stuff. But not a single Spring Energy joke in the whole time as they were tracking him through the race, all that. So I felt like kudos. I'm proud of the internet for not going there. And congratulations to Dave Roche. I've never met him. I listen to the podcast from time to time, but seems like a nice guy, and congratulations to him. Martha says, Mary Denholm, who used to be on the RAD team manager at Rabbit but moved to Colorado, ran the second fastest Leadville 100 for women in history. I believe this was her first 100-miler as well. Am I right in that, Martha? I've bumped into Mary a bunch of times over the past few years, usually at CIM. But I've seen her in a whole bunch of different places. And yeah, I was cheering for her as she was running through the course that day. And Eliza says, hi, CoFam. It's been a while. I wish Leadville had the coverage that Western States and Cocodona had. It seems to be that one thing that was negative is that people were complaining about the coverage that Leadville or Leadville Trail LT100, as it's known to those in the know, had of the race. And yeah, I think that's the difficult part about ultra trail races. They take a day or longer sometimes, and they're traversing some of the most difficult and cell phone unfriendly parts of the world. But people want to watch. People want to be able to follow. People want to be able to see. It's hard. It's not cheap. But, it is an established race that's been around for a long time, and it has lifetime backing it. So you would think it would be better. I didn't tune in. I was following John Levitt on Threads. I was following his play-by-play. And Sean says, hey, Kof, is your run club? Seems like forever between these live streams these days. Yes, I was just telling my wife this morning that I am aching for some routine. This summer has been wild. It has been a lot of travel, a lot of adventures, going to a lot of places, seeing a lot of people, and running with a lot of people, and it's been great. But I feel like the last 2 months I've been behind on everything. I feel like I'm behind on a video at all times for the last 2 months. I feel like I've been behind on family stuff. And I feel like I've been behind on sleep and training and everything. So I'm just glad to be home for a little bit. It's not even that long, but I can't wait for school to start this week. All right, let's see who else we got in here. We got... And Richard says, didn't one of the regulars here do Leadville? Yes, we have some Kafuzi Run Club members that were running it. At least one. Are they here today? I don't know. And Vanessa Martinez says, great Harris video. She wants to know, did Thomas call you co-snoozy? That seems mean. It's still hot as heck here in Austin. 106 degrees Fahrenheit forecasted for Wednesday. That is very hot. Hotter than when I was there in July. But yeah, Thomas called me co-snoozy. So my bedtime is pretty early most days. I go to bed before the children, to be honest with you, at home. And so like on all these events, if we're out late, I'm just super tired. And then there's usually cocktails or something involved in some of these evening events, which is why I try not to go to too many of them. But there were a lot of them in Paris. And so I always fall asleep on the ride home. And so it started from Falmouth, which was also this last weekend. But I would usually sleep on the bus ride home from Falmouth back to Boston. And so that's where Kof Snoozy was born. Falling asleep. I mean, I fall asleep in vehicles all the time, but especially on some of these celebration events. And Mark Peterson says, Falmouth Road Race was this weekend too, I think. I saw Emma Bates took third, but that's all I know. Yeah, that too. I've only been getting, I've been seeing some stuff on Instagram and on Threads. I wish I could have been there this weekend, but I'm so tired. Plus my sister was in town. But I'm so exhausted. But it looks like friends of the Kofuzi Run Club, Kofuzi Run Club, Emma Bates came in third, and fourth place was her ASICS teammate, Emma Grace Hurley. Who have I interviewed her here, or did I think I interviewed her as part of Relay. But anyway, no, she's been on the Kofuzi Run Club before because I interviewed her in Atlanta back when she was on Atlanta Track Club. So I interviewed her back then. So, yeah. And then they had beers at the finish line, which is one of the best things about Falmouth Road Race. So you finish on the beach, you could just jump right in the water. And then there's also bars right along the way. Because Falmouth Road Race is a bar-to-bar race. It's the rules. Afterwards, you got to find a bar to have a beer in. All right, Thomas Dwayne is here. He says, "Hi, Co and Kofuzi Run Club. Made a 3-second PB for my half yesterday. Awesome." Thomas did it at the Grandview Yard Half in Columbus. He's sore as heck today. Well, hopefully it's a good sore and you're enjoying it. Congratulations on the PR. And Tails de Mileto says, "Yo, what's going on? 6 weeks till Berlin Marathon. Starting to feel it in the training. Loved your video in Paris. We were watching and I told my fiance, I bet Kofuzi is one of those guys running on the side. And you were. I should have been pretty hard to see. I didn't see myself in any of the. No one usually if I make it to the TV coverage, people screenshot it and send it to me, but no one sent any to me. Someone said that they saw me, but I don't think that they did, because where I was running was like in the city, and it would have been pretty hard for the helicopters to pick up on me because I was further away from the race. For the men's marathon, I was wearing all black, and then for the women's marathon, by that day, I was like. All I had left was the clothes that like ASICS had put in the swag bag. So I was wearing like neon yellow and a yellow hat. So I might have been more visible on that day, but I don't think people saw me. Not on TV. Maybe they did. There was an overhead shot of the moment that Safan Hassan overtook Tigis Sefa. And you can kind of see me in there, but the overhead shot is from so far away. I'm just a blur on the screen. Adam says he paced at Leadville and the weather was great for running. Clouds kept it from getting warm and the rain was very light. Oh, that's always good to hear. And Jen Runs Triangle says, "Yo, what's going on? Long time since been able to enjoy. And no live stream on the times I was able to join. And excited to catch up with the co-family. It's good to see you guys all here." All right. Peter has a running question. He says, "What kind of warm-ups do you do? Been watching years and love it." I usually do. I try to remember to do it every time, but sometimes I run out of time and I don't do it as much as I should. But I do my normal, I have a mobility routine that I do before runs. It's all body weight stuff. 10 squats, 10 lateral lunges, 10 lunges, then 10 lateral lunges each side. And then 10 single leg, what are they called? When you stick your leg back, I don't even remember. Romanian deadlifts kind of thing. Just single leg RDLs. Little airplane action. That's the routine. So I've been doing all that. It takes about 7 minutes. Daniel Estrella says, it was insane that Clayton Young heard you and waved back. Still amazed at how you're able to keep up with the pros with the GoPro sticking out and you're not hitting anyone on your way. So I don't think Clayton Young heard me and waved back. So it looks like that happened. But if you watch that footage again, you'll see that there are 4 red shirts with white ovals on the back. And those are Clayton Young t-shirts. And so it was Clayton's family. Only like friends and family have that shirt, like his family members, and like Jared Ward stopped by the A6 house and he has one of those too. And so I think it was BYU guys that were at that point and they were holding an American flag and he was waving at them. I don't think he was waving at me, but until he confirms one way or the other, I guess we'll never know. Wayne says, how did the Hassan Pass look at street level? So for me, it happens like this. They cover like 10, 15 meters like nothing. It happened so quickly. But what it looked like to me is they come down the turn, Tigis Sefa is in front. And then I think at that point, Sifan Hassan saw the 42-kilometer sign. And that would have been from the point where you can first see it, it's maybe 100 meters. And so at that point, you realize there's like 300 meters left in this race. And so you could see the moment when she like turned it on and started going. And as it's happening, we didn't know because there was like a big giant screen for the stadium, but I couldn't really see that. And also I was looking the other way for the runners to come. And so we didn't know that it was that close at all. Some people did because some people were like following on their phones, but I didn't know. So when I saw them come by, we knew they were coming because like the timing truck goes by, the motorcycles pull off to the side. So they're coming soon and you can hear it from the crowd as the crowd noise comes. And then they break through and you could see them come around the turn and you're like, oh, it's close. And then I saw Stefan make a move and then you're like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And your brain doesn't even register it until it passes you. And then you're like, oh, in my mind, I thought I had seen them do a little jostling before they got to me. But having seen the race and my footage later, they didn't actually touch until after they passed me, like right after they were off my left elbow. And so but either way, it felt like they were bumping each other like the last 200 meters. And so that's what it felt like looking at it. But it happens in a moment. It just happens so crazy fast. And Daniel Burton says, I wonder why they run so close together. So something that I love about the Paris course is that when possible, they made it narrow. They made it very narrow. And so like the day before for the men's marathon, I went upstream a little bit. So I went probably all the way down to like 40K. Just to check it out. And this is just giant road that was there. It's by the Musée des Armes, the Museum of Weapons or Warfare. And so it's a giant road for like tourists to get there and stuff, I think. So it was pretty wide, but they set up the barrier so it was pretty close. So there was only so much space there. And so that lets the crowd get closer. So very much like if you think about like the way that Europeans cheer for runners at trail running events or the way that like Tour de France is or like rally car racing is, like they let people just get close. And so they did that for this race too. And so like they were close to each other because the road wasn't wide. It was maybe like a car lane and a half wide for them. And so if you wanted to make a move, you pretty much had to be like elbow to someone. Especially as like you're turning hard. It was a hard left 90-degree turn. And then that part of the road was a little bit windy. And so you can come through. And so it was, if you wanted to maneuver, you were going to get close to somebody, And Johnny Donovan says, yeah, I can confirm that Yorkshire ain't mad at you anymore since you included Emil Curris in the Paris video. Yeah, that was the comment that popped up the most when I posted the New York, the men's marathon results reel. Is like, so I kind of put in a little blurb about the race and then I put notable results. And I did like the first 3 or 4 men. I guess I just only did the first 3 men and then like the Americans and Rory and then Cohen Naird, who I met in Mammoth Lakes a while ago, and I've bumped into him a bunch of times since, who runs for Belgium. But I didn't put in Emil Kuras, who was number 4. And so all the Brits were letting me know that I omitted a notable finish. So I made sure he was in the video. I didn't have too much footage of him, but I put in what I had. PG19A says, how did you like Paris? Paris was great. It's, in a way, like having the Olympics in Paris is beautiful because Paris utilized itself. It played up to its strengths. But in a lot of ways, it's kind of hard that like Paris has so much to offer other than the Olympics that you're like, oh, should I have not spent some time in the Musée d'Orsay, which is I prefer over the Louvre? Or should I have gone to the Louvre? Or should I have gone to all these other places? I ran with someone at the group run that said they came to Paris for like 2 days, then went to Normandy and then Burgundy for 2 days, and then just to do some tourism, an American person, and then came back for another 2 days in Paris. And I was like, oh, now that's the way to do it. I like that. And so like the infrastructure was great. The metro was always so fast and reliable and so easy. The bike shares, there was a bike everywhere I looked. It was so easy to find an electric bike and so easy to park them too. Just super, super convenient. And so that is something that like a world-class city like Paris can provide. But other than that, you're kind of like, I'd like to go to Sacré-Cœur Cathedral. I'd like to spend some more time, you know, in some of the other arrondissements. But I just didn't, you know. So it's like, it's kind of a shame that it's in Paris in a lot of ways. Chase Brandine said, love the Olympic Vidco. Well, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun living it and then making the video as well. It was a long one. I didn't think it was going to be that long, but yeah, it ended up being a long one. All right. Oh, and Councilman Pino Michael says, Emil Kuras' marathon plan for London is online. He's a Canova runner. Oh, he is. I bet you it's a lot of double thresholds. Interesting. Eliza says, what was the best thing you ate? Was there any bad foods? You know, I ate a lot of the stuff at the hospitality suites, and it's convenient because then you're already at the stadium. You're in the air-conditioned area, although the first day it was a little warm. And there's light bites and then beverages there. You know, and so it's very convenient because then when it's time to go, they let you know when it's time to go because they close it. And then you're at the stadium at your seat and you don't accidentally spend too much time eating snacks. But the food isn't great, especially if you're vegetarian. You know, so like a lot of places I went to had like that kind of stuff. And I don't do well. I got to learn to like, if it's a hospitality situation, I got to go to regular concessions and get more real food. Even if it costs me more money. But, so that wasn't great. It was tasty, really good, just not substantial enough. Not for someone who's also trying to run some miles every morning too. The best thing I ate was the French fries. I love French fries in Paris. They just cook them different. I don't know if they're cooking them in a beef tallow or what, but they're just so good. And it's not because they're French fries and I'm trying to eat French fries in France, but I know they're... Anyway, I just love French fries, and they do it really well in France. I had a veggie burger at that place along with the French fries. It's really tasty. And then I had, you know, breakfast pastries. Those were also, of course, really good. I didn't eat enough breakfast, though. I didn't eat a lot. Adam said that Steven Ganoza did 27:22 at Leadville. Sounds like he struggled. He did. I just saw his post. So he just posted something on Instagram. He wanted to drop out a couple times, he said. But he said he had a crew that wouldn't let him. And he said he's thankful for that. So that was good. It's good to see him finish that race. Shaheen says, Heco, great Paris video, beautiful editing. How's your Berlin Marathon training going? It's not going well, I'll tell you that. And so I just think a lot of the travel and traveling to places that were hot has not been good for me. And so like I've been in contact with Sage and Sandy a lot and trying to like adjust the plan so that way I can get in what I can get in and just kind of survive the heat. And now that it's finally cooling off, you know, hoping that we can make at least some meaningful progress in the next 4 weeks. I have a feeling that the taper is going to be really short for this race just because I've struggled so much this summer. I was going to do another 5K, but we scrapped that from the calendar because I was just feeling terrible. And I felt like all the summer workouts weren't like taking. And so we've had a lot of discussions about that and got blood tests and stuff. And I'm trying to adjust, but I'm just so tired. So I'm like just trying to survive, you know. So the training's not going well. And I wish I had better answers for that as to why. I just think I need sleep and routine, you know. All right, Eliza says, box. I think it's time to get to some packages. I feel like, especially some of you guys, you're going to be excited about some of this stuff. This first one, I'm not sure what it is. It's from Decker's Brain, so you guys know it's either from Decker's or Hoka. I'm actually not sure which one it's going to be. So we'll see what it is. I feel like at this point in the year, there's not a lot of stuff that's under embargo anymore. So, I mean, this stuff has been at my house since before I left for Paris. So, hopefully it's not under embargo. Let's see what we got. Oh, we've already got one of these. Oh, see, you know what happened? It's another pair. Not that I'm upset. But it's another pair of the Speed Goat 6. This is a different color than the one I have. So here's what happened. So we've already looked at this one already, right? We did. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah. So normally I deal with a PR company when it comes to Hoka stuff, a very specific PR company, and I've been working with them for like 5 years now. I've known them for a long time. And they sent me the Speed Goat 6. And then recently, I got an email from a different PR company also working with Hoka asking me if I wanted Speed Goat 6 and Tecton X3. And I was like, I already have the Speed Goat 6, but feel free to send me the Tecton X3. That'd be great. Looking forward to it. And they're like, great, we'll get them both sent out to you. And I was like, hopefully they go back and read it, you know. But it looks like they sent me another one. So we'll figure it out what to do with this extra pair. So we'll have to see. But we've already seen that one. We've already weighed that one, so we don't need to weigh that one. So that's the first box. All right. Mark says, better check this spreadsheet. Let me see. Speed Goat. Come on. Yeah, Speed Goat 6. I already have one. It's 9.7 ounces, 276 grams. And let's see. Calvin says this happens to Seth more too. He kept getting Speed Goats. LOL. Can you imagine that? Can you? I just love the idea that Seth just keeps getting packages. Ooh, another package from Decker's Brand, and it's it's like multiple pairs of Speed Goat 6. That'd be really funny. All right, let's get to the next one. This one from New Balance. I feel like I've been getting everything very late from New Balance, which is fine. They can send it to me whenever they like. But you guys have been asking for some of these. And this one is one you guys are going to be excited about because I've been wanting to run one of these too. This is, there we go, Supercomp Trainer V3. All right. This This is one that I've been eagerly waiting for. And it looks just like a bigger version of the SE Pacer. I love this color. What I will tell you what I think this color is. Mint toothpaste. And then like a blue-green on top. That's kind of what I think it is. Sega Dreamcast says, you'll like this a lot. Great shoe. Generous Triangle says, ooh. Mark Peterson says, teal. Stevie76 says it's purple. Another vote for teal from Daniel Estrella. So, here we go. The official colorway name is White Green. I feel like that's kind of an uninspired name. Are all the New Balance colorway names that boring? Although, I don't like it when it gets nuts. Like all the Hoka colorways are kind of crazy. Like habanero lime and stuff like that. I don't know. There isn't a colorway name on this. I don't know. I'm trying to find it. Sega Dreamcast says, New Balance is literally the worst at describing their colorways. I'm very excited for this one. It's got the it does have the energy arc in it. A lot of the newer fuel cell. I'll have to go refer back to my tech sheets to see if I think it's just all PIBA, right? You guys will know better than I do. But yeah, this upper looks like it's nice and comfy. I haven't smelled the new shoe in a long time, it feels like. This one smells good. It smells like a hotel room. A clean hotel room. I like it. Feels kind of heavy in hand, but we'll get the scale out in a minute. We'll take a look. All right, looks like Eric's here. Hey, Kafuzi fam. Leadville 100 completed. Traveling back in the car. Hope you're all doing well. All right, Eric. Well, welcome. Congratulations. Good to have you here in the chat. Be careful driving. And Calvin says, I'm curious why you'd pick this or the ballast over each other. I guess one is $200 versus $180. I feel it's going to, I mean, here's the thing. I feel like the Fresh Foam X has been getting tweaked and tweaked and tweaked, right? And so like the experience delivered between the two is narrowing a lot in scope, you know, in terms of like how different these foams feel underfoot. Both are pretty energetic. I feel like Fresh Foam X has more bounce than it does squish, and Fuel Cell has more squish than it does bounce a lot of the time. That's kind of like the way I would explain those experiences a little bit different. And so that's kind of like which one feels better for you is kind of how I would pick it. Haven't run in the shoe yet though, so that's just a hypothesis at this point. All right. All right. All right. Capricornian 1 has a couple of questions, please. Does the Super Blast 2 feel a tad smaller versus Super Blast 1? What shoe to buy for intervals? Had Rebel 4, not 4, if a little stack and low drop, but don't feel comfortable with my heel striking. Does the Super Blast 2 feel smaller? A little bit, I would say, but it's more comfortable. So that material that they used for the Super Blast 1, I just always thought it was harsh and scratchy, but it created a really good amount of structure. And so I felt like I always had to tie it very tightly to get the whole structure closed in over my foot. The Super Blast 2 upper is more like a standard upper, and it behaves like you would expect a running shoe upper to behave. And I feel like it feels very comfortable. I don't know if it's the same exact last or not. I feel like it's very similar, but the same last with different materials can also affect that differently. And so does it feel a tad smaller? I would say short answer, yes. Now, in terms of what shoe to buy for intervals, you had the Rebel 4. You don't like it with your heel striking. I would say, number one, the Rebel 4 is not little stack. I don't know, remember the drop off the top of my head, but I feel like it's a 36 or a 38 millimeter stack height shoe in the back. It's pretty tall. It doesn't feel tall, but it's tall, which I guess just reiterates my point that I make a lot of time, that like heel drop and stack height information is not as helpful as it thinks, but as people think. But I would think maybe the Endorphin Speed 4 would be a good choice for you. That one might be a little bit better. So let's try that one. Let's see. Calm Gallagher says, any gel belt recommendations for carrying Science Sport Go gels on a marathon? I like half tights, so I think good half tights can carry a lot of gels. The Bandit half tights fit 2 on each side, maybe even up to 3 if you needed to. The Rabbit half tights also hold a lot. If you're just carrying gels and you want to carry them in a belt, pretty much any belt is going to be fine. Like the ones with zippers in it, those will work. I like flip belts quite a bit. You could fit a lot of them in there as well. So those could be some good options. I don't like the kind where they're like just held on by a bungee cord or a piece of elastic and it's kind of like pinched in the middle. I don't like those. I don't like any of those at all. So Robert Munoz says, is the Hoga Clifton 9 still a good everyday shoe? Yes, I ran in mine yesterday. And Joe Trotto says, what is the best rocker daily trainer? I have feet issues and PT things that will help. I run races in the Endorphin Pros. If you run your races in the Endorphin Pros, I might have you take a look at the Saucony Ride or the Endorphin Speed 4. Some people do a lot of daily training in this Endorphin Speed 4, so that could be an option for you too. But when I think of like rocker daily trainers, I'm thinking about Hoka's. So think like, I don't have, I don't know exactly the nature of your feet issues, so I can't, and I'm not really qualified to help determine what those are. But when I think of rocker shoes, I generally think about Hoka shoes. So that'd be where I would look. Like I like the Mach 6. No, I didn't run the Clifton 9 yesterday, to go back earlier. I ran in the Mach 6s yesterday. But the Clifton 9s are also still really good. All right, last box. This box I feel like a lot of you guys have been waiting for a while. And I've been trying to get it for a long time too. But I just didn't like the Volt colorway, and I wanted to get something different. So it just took time. So we got one of these sushi boxes. Comes with a bag. I've got so many of these bags. And I got this one, purple. What's the name on this? White, black, purple, AGAT. Is it agate? 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 I don't know how to say that color name. That's this one. Feels lighter than it looks. It's a big shoe, but it feels very lightweight. And it even still has the insert inside. Daniel Estrella says grape. I feel like grape is the right way to think about this. Grape is right. I like grape. I don't like this pink accent. I like pink accents, just not this pink accent, So, but this one was available for me to buy. So, smells like a basketball. Just all I'm smelling is rubber. A lot of people messaged me about Kipchoge wearing Alpha Fly 2s during the Paris Marathon, and they were like, oh, this is a scandal. And I was like, they're like, how come the media is not talking about this? And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm media. But because it's not a big deal? I don't know. So, but we'll see. Well, I've been wanting to run in the shoe for a while. We'll see how it goes. I like how light it is. It's very lightweight. And it has that that feeling that sounds like it's not a compliment, but it is a compliment that I give to racing shoes. It feels like, when, I don't know if they still do this at furniture stores. Do you remember when you used to go to a furniture store, and they had a bookshelf? They had fake books on the bookshelf, and it was like a plastic shell that looked like a book or many books in one, and you pick it up and it's hollow. I feel like a good racing shoe feels kind of like that, hollow and fake almost. But I got this one from Nike.com, so it's not, an eBay special like the other time I bought. Where is it? I still have that somewhere. Where is that? This is my 12-ounce eBay special for the Alpha Fly 2. Remember these guys? So these are not Alpha Fly specials. So let's go. Let's get the spreadsheet out. Get some weights going here. All right. First, let's get ready. We got Nike Alpha Fly 3. It's 0 miles, right shoe, size 9, road. And then we've got the New Balance. Let's see, Trainer V3. Same things. Okay. We've got to get the scale out. Get everything zeroed. We'll go with the New Balance first. All right. You guys, what do you guys think this? I think you guys know already what the SC Trainer V3 is going to be. Well, I mean, as a big boy, I told you it feels heavy in hand, and it is heavy. I mean, given how big it is, maybe not, but it's heavy. All right, let's weigh it a couple of times just to make sure. All right, this one's coming in at, where's that? There we go. 9.9 ounces, so just under 10, which I feel like that's a coup. That's a victory, for this shoe. Because I feel like 10 sounds so much heavier than 9.9. But yeah. But 9.9 ounces. Calvin says it's supposed to be 9.7, but I'm weighing this one. 9.9. Nothing else in here. So that's what we got for this one. Then let's get this guy on here. Oh, this is the left. I got to get the right. Okay. The right foot also smells. The right foot smells different than the left. It still kind of smells like a basketball, but it kind of has that fishy plastic smell to it. You guys know what I'm talking about? All right. That's a lot lighter, which makes sense because the SC Trainer 3 is a long run shoe. This is a racing shoe. Pretty respectable here. All right. I think someone had it already exactly right. I think Calvin had it exactly right. It came in at 7.4 ounces and 210 grams. All right. Now here are we gonna do data sort. It's been so long, guys. I feel like I forgot how to do the data sort. Let's highlight these quick so that I know where they go once I sort it. Data sort sheet by column. I don't want it by column A. I want to sort it by column C, right? So how do I get to pick a different column? Column C. Here we go. I'll get this. Okay. Alpha Fly 3 coming in a little bit heavier than the Nitro Elite 3 from Puma. That's so surprising that they're that close. I would have thought that the Nitro Elite 3 was way lighter than the Alpha Fly 3. Interesting. And then still heavier than, especially heavier than the Olympic version. 7.1. Medici Sky Paris is 6.7. Sled Pulsar 3, the lightest trail shoe I've ever seen. 7.1 ounces. The SC Pacer 2 is 7.2 ounces. So we got some light ones in there. And then the 9.9 ounces for the SC Trainer V3 is the same weight as the Mount to Coast S1. Just a little bit heavier than a Speed Goat. It's heavier than a Speed Goat. Oh, that's interesting. What happens if I do this drop down chips? Drop down chips. Oh boy. Should I hit this button, guys? Guys, what is this drop down chips button? Oh, so instead of having to type in right or left or road, trail, hike, it'll... I feel like that's... All right. Let's hit that button. Oh boy. Now we've got these chips is what called it. Oh, okay. I like that. That works for me. I quite had some questions here. They're drop down crisps in England. I like that. All right. Calvin says, where's the Balos? Balos came in at 8.9 ounces. So the Balos is an ounce lighter than the SC Trainer 3. Isn't that crazy, guys? Yeah. 30 grams lighter. That's wild. And then Chitrak, I'm going to say Chitrak, says, where's the Cloud Boom Strike? Did I not weigh the Cloud Boom Strike? Oh, you know what? Oh, we'll have to add the Cloud Boom Strike later. That shoe came out from under embargo, and so I didn't unbox it with you guys, but I did take pictures of it. We'll have to add it next time. Remind me on Thursday. And then, well, hopefully I'll have my phone with me on Thursday because that's where those pictures are. But, yeah, I have the Cloud Boom Strike. Video says it sounds like an insult to say your shoes are heavier than a Speed Goat. It kind of is. I mean, it's a trail shoe, you know? So, yeah. Daniel Bird says, Code, do you like the Nova Blast 4? I love the Nova Blast 4. I'm pretty sure it was my daily trainer, the number one daily trainer for last year. And Big Assist says, I missed it. Anything take the place of the Puma DV8 Nitro 2? Maybe the Puma... Well, I think I like the Puma DV8 Nitro 2 a little bit more than the Nitro 3. It was a little bit softer. But the Puma DV8 Nitro 3 is faster. Like when you're running fast, it's just a little bit more exciting. And Grant says, did I weigh the Cielo X1? Let's see. Cielo X1 might be too early for the spreadsheet. Yeah, there's no Cielo X1 in here. So the spreadsheet only started, I think earlier this year. Maybe a couple months ago. Because I got the Cielo X1 in like February. So I think it only started in like March or so. And Kevin wants to know, have I run in the Evo 1 since Houston? How's it fared above the expected lifespan? I have not run in it since Houston. Yeah, it's still here. I find the shoe to be very aggressive. And so I don't reach for it frequently. And I think that like a good use for me now would have been if I'd run that other 5K or 10K race. And if I were to do a short, fast workout. But I have so many other shoes that I need to test that it's like I don't like have a reason to run in this one other than it could be really fun. So it's not that I've been avoiding it, but I just have other shoes I got to test. Travis says, wasn't the Boston 12, which they say is a tempo shoe, in the 10s? Yeah, the Boston 12 has been heavy. Is it in the 10s? I don't think I have it on this sheet. I'm pretty sure I do not. No, I only have the Dream Chaser in here. So I don't know how heavy it is, and my Bostons are somewhere else. I don't think they're near here. I can't reach them. Where are my Bostons? Guys, let me know if you see them, but I think they're on the other bookshelf. But yeah, I just think that the Boston is not a really great tempo shoe. So yeah, and then I'm pretty sure I've been binging a lot of Doctors of Running since I got back from Paris because they haven't been talking about the Olympics, and I'm kind of Olympics out a little bit. And so I've been listening to a lot of them. And I'm pretty sure they put the Boston in a long run shoe category in one conversation. Maybe just kind of like, maybe not officially, but offhand. And I'm like, see, it's not, I'm not the only one that thinks that. Kevin Toulouse says, "Hey Mike, any plans on doing a review on your new Alpha Fly 3 or Pegasus Plus? I miss your Nike reviews. I'll probably review the Pegasus Plus. I probably won't review the Alpha Fly 3, but when the reel goes up, you'll know that I've tested it. So if you have, I'll make a reel about it. So if you want to ask questions about it, you can, or I'll have the knowledge base of it to compare for other shoes. But yeah, the Pegasus Plus." Wait, Pegasus Plus. I just ordered, what are they calling the Turbo? I don't know why they didn't call it Turbo 3. Wait, was there a Turbo 3? I don't know. The new Turbo, I just bought that one. It should be here already at the PO box. But that one I'll review. I don't know what is Pegasus Plus the new Turbo or not? I don't remember. See, this is why I still do need to stay somewhat familiar with stuff. But yeah, that one I'll review. Zayon Pixel says, "Is there a method to how you organize the shoes?" Kind of. These are shoes that I'm still testing. These are all shoes that I'm done testing. Except for not these. These are the Glide Ride Max. I was hiding them over there earlier, but now I don't have to hide them anymore. So they can go over here, but it's kind of full. So there's not a lot of method to it. But yeah. Okay, Jacob Dreamcast says, "Pegasus Plus is the new Turbo. They even put the name on the outsole." They put the name on the outsole. Interesting. Yeah, so the Turbo has a special significance. I love that shoe. It's also the first shoe I ever got gifted, And so, just a little sentimentality there. Kevin Brawley says, "Do you just stare at the shoe while trying to figure out what shoe to run in?" Yes, I do that a lot. Because a lot of days it's like, most of my runs are easy runs. So I come down here, I'm like, what do I want to run in today? And I got to figure out, I'm like, well, which one? And sometimes I look at like my Strava list of like which shoes are close to 100 miles. So I could figure out like which one can I get a review out of sooner, to get to 100 for the 100-mile review. So I just kind of stand here and I'm like, all right, which one haven't I run in a while, or which one have I been running in a lot that I could finish testing soon? So Jen Runs Triangle says, "What do you do with these shoes when you're done with them? Is there a specific mileage you go by or by feel?" So for me, I'm done with the shoe at 100 miles. Not that the shoe's dead, just I have to get to other shoes, and 100 miles is a nice round number to stop at for a lot of shoes. And these days, they just sit on the wall. If I have multiple of them, I might get rid of them, and I'll donate them to charity. So that's it. And Dylan Chan says, "Would the SC Elite be a good option for both long runs and fartlek tempo workouts, or is there a better option?" I feel like the SC Elite is a good option for that. The SC Elite is not the most aggressive of the carbon-plated racers, and so I feel like it does make for a pretty good long run shoe. It's a little bit unstable at very easy paces, so if you're someone that needs a little bit more stability for those in your carbon-plated racers, I don't think that at easy paces the SC Elite is super stable because it's very squishy. That kind of goes away once you start moving faster, so it's not as big of an issue. But if you're using it as a long run shoe, which to me means you'll be doing some easy miles, a lot of easy miles, but also a lot of faster miles in a mix, then I feel like the SC Elite's a pretty good option for that. Stevie76 wants to know, do I talk to my shoes? I don't talk to them. No. And Cindy wants to know, does the studio smell like new shoe or used shoes? It doesn't smell like either. It's a basement down here, and I don't know. I don't think that I'm nose blind to it, but I don't think it smells. Unless you get really close to some of these shoes, they don't smell that bad. You know? Grant Reese asks, would you use the Balos as a daily trainer ever? I heard people use it for all types of runs. I think you could definitely, for me, the Balos disagree with me. It hurt my foot. But I think for a lot, it's such a fun shoe. I feel like it's like a 1080, especially the most recent 1080. It's very similar to that, just like extra, right? So like it's just more bounciness, more stack height. And more fun, in my opinion. I liked it as a long run shoe, something that you could like be in for a long time, some faster miles, but a lot of easy miles, which a daily trainer can also kind of handle that kind of job too. So to use it that way, I think would be great as long as the shoe agrees with you. It didn't agree with me, but yeah, it could be very, very much so. I would also look at the 1080 if you're interested in the Balos. And Kevin wants to know, am I going to Berlin with a brand? Did I miss a conversation? I'm going with Sports Tours again. So that's who I did London with. And we're working to see what other kind of events I could do while I'm over there. So that's kind of getting finalized too. I've been in talks with Adidas about going out. It had offered a bib to me as well, but I told them I already had one, so I didn't need it. So like, hopefully I'll be getting connected with Adidas, which is on my mini list of to-dos that I'm very far behind on, is just circling back and saying like, hey, don't forget, I'm not getting a bid from you guys, but I would like to participate in some of the 50th anniversary stuff that Adidas might be doing. So hopefully I'll be seeing at least some of that stuff. Yeah, Kevin says, gotcha. So no brand tides to so far equals full gamut of race shoes and gear available. Yes, very, very much so true. But without saying too much, I'm very much hoping for a very specific shoe to be able to run in. So hopefully that works out. So we'll see. And that's kind of related to this Sega Dreamcast question. What's your race shoe for Berlin? Well, hopefully I'll be able to. That's why I need to kind of circle back. So hopefully we'll be able to find something fun to run in. And Dan Dalton says, by the way, eating currywurst is a good event activity. That would be kind of fun. When I was in Herzogenaurach for Road to Records, there was a vegetarian currywurst. There was fries on the side. That was pretty great. That I would take over to the food in a hospitality tent anytime. That was really good. That was really fun. So yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone for joining in on Spreadsheet Madness. I don't like all the colors. I got to say, now that I'm looking at it again, I don't like all the colors that are now here on this. There's like pink and light blue and all sorts of brownish looking things on here now. And it's very distracting, but we'll see. I don't know how to make the chips go away. So I think we're stuck with it now. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks for sticking around for Spreadsheet Madness. We'll be back again Thursday. We're getting back into regular routine. So we'll be back. Next one will be Thursday. I think there's going to be a lot more shoes that I'll be unboxing. So hopefully I'll see you again then. Till then, be safe out there, everybody. Enjoy your runs. Bye.